Alright guys, we are back with the Spfl player of the 21st century. It was Dundee United's Andy Robertson taking on Celtic's John Hartson. And I don't know what happened to the votes here, I don't know what happened to the poll, but I think it's fair to say that 65% of people are fucking delusional, because John Hartson has defeated Andy Robertson in this poll, and 65% of people think that John Hartson is a better player, is more worthy of winning the SPFL player of the 21st century than Andy Robertson. I cannot believe that, but it is what it is. Hartson goes through with 65% of the vote. I see pretty much zero. I don't see how John Hartson's better than Andy Robertson. I don't. Now, the only argument you can have, I guess there's two arguments. He won titles and longevity. He was in the Scottish Premiership longer than Andy Robertson was, but still, I mean, Andy Robertson has went on to be one of the best left backs in the world at one stage, and there were signs of that while he was in the SPFL. I'm not saying that when he was playing for Dundee United he was the best or anything like that, but there was signs that he was going to be a quality player. I mean, John Hartson, for me, he was always overshadowed at his time at Celtic. I always seen him as third choice. Of course, he couldn't stack up to Henrik Larsson, and I always thought he was like a poor man's Sutton as well. So I am shocked that John Hartson has won here. I would like to know, anyone who voted John Hartson, if you can let me know in the comments why you think John Hartson was worthy of beating Andy Robertson, because I have no idea. And on a separate side note, guys, I had a couple of comments from Ricky Wells in the chat saying that I should have renamed this the Old Firm Player of the Century, complaining about the amount of Old Firm players and saying that maybe if I didn't have all the Old Firm players in, then I would get more views on the video. Right, first of all, these videos are like updates. I'm not really making these videos for views. These are just simply to let people know who has advanced to the next round. It's not about views. I've never turned around once and said views, so I don't get the point there. And secondly, if you cannot grasp why there's going to be more Old Firm players in this tournament than there is non-Old Firm players, then I don't know what to tell you. Rangers and Celtic are the most dominant teams in Scotland. Since the 21st century began, they've won the titles. They've shared all the titles between them. No one has won the league. They've won the majority of the cups. They've dominated Scottish football, and they have the financial power over all the other teams. Therefore, 9 times out of 10, they've got the better players. It is that simple. So, if you take the 64 best players to play in Scotland since 2000, the majority of them is going to play for Rangers and Celtic. I mean, that's not rocket science. I'm not going to put 4 players for each team and try and make it fairer. I'm putting the 64 best players, and I did a lot of research, and I did take into consideration I wanted to try and include at least one player from each current top flight side, but at the same time, I'm not going to leave out players that were great for players that weren't so great, just so I can try and get, let's say, a Ross County player in there. To me, that would make no sense. So yeah, I went with 64. Are the majority of them Rangers and Celtic players? Yes. But does it make sense that the majority would be Celtic and Rangers players? Yes, of course they would. I don't understand why anyone would complain about this. Even if you're a non-Old Firm fan, if you don't support Celtic, if you don't support Rangers, you surely have to understand that Celtic and Rangers, over the course of the last 22 years, will have better players than your side. It's that simple, man. I don't understand it. I really don't. Plus, it's not. I think out of the 64, I've included 20 non-Old Firm players, which I think is pretty reasonable, if I'm being honest. I've left out some really good Old Firm players, to be fair. So yeah. Anyway, we'll continue. Just wanted to mention that in case anyone else is wondering. It's not an Old Firm competition, but the fact is the Old Firm have had the majority of the best players since the 21st century started. So I can't help that, guys, right? I can't help that. That's no on me. You have to go and speak to the fucking clubs, right? If you're unhappy that Inverness Cali Thistle don't have a player in this tournament, then go and ask Inverness Cali Thistle to buy fucking better players, and then maybe I'll include one in the next tournament. Anyway, that's it, guys. There you go. Till next time. By the way, next match, what is it? I totally forgot to say. It's Ryan Kent against Rudy Scatchell. There you go. Ryan Kent, Rudy Scatchell. You've got a non-Old Firm player. A player that I think is actually better than Ryan Kent. So we'll see who gets the win there. Ryan Kent or Rudy Scatchell. Anyway, that's it, guys. Till next time. Peace.